The Sports Scouting Report with Lieber King, brought to you by Harvey Autos in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you've trusted for years. Geico, the insurance savings you expect. Supreme Chevrolet, expect more from Supreme Automotive Group in Gonzales. Bollinger Shipyards, 75 years of delivering high-quality vessels. Here's your host, Lieber King.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Collin Guggenheim, running backs, tight ends coach, Nicholls State University.
I'm in Nicholls State football office here, and really was able to take in some intense, good, I don't know, what do you call the practices right now, Coach?
OTAs.
OTAs. Good to see you and the coaching staff, but it just seemed like yesterday that I saw you running the ball in Tiger Stadium. And we'll get to that at the end of the interview, but tell everybody, you just finished playing football at Nicholls. You started at Army, West Point, transferred here, and you told me your freshman year, you were fourth team running back starting out. Guys got hurt, things happened. You end up rushing, for a great year. Finished ninth in the 1AA Heisman Trophy, basically, award. What do they call that?
The Jerry Rice.
The Jerry
Freshman
Rice
year,
Award.
yes, sir.
And, tell everybody what got you to come to Nicholls State from Army, because you were at Army out of John Curtis High School when you played at John Curtis.
Yes, sir, most definitely. So when Coach Rebo was here, he did a great job in my recruiting process. He was the first coach to give me an opportunity. So when I decided to go to West Point and figured out that it just wasn't for me, loved everything about it. Coach Vitti and Coach Monken are great people. Love Army. I tell every kid, if you get the chance, go do it. Right?
And that was during COVID, right?
Yes, sir. It was. So a couple of things changed, but forever grateful for it because I was able to find out, the kind of man I was. So coming back home, that whole recruiting process, coming back, I always went to, what I thought was home, and Nicholls felt like home. And at the time, Coach Lee Russo, who's the O-line coach here, just did a great job with me, just being open and honest, and that's what I always wanted. And I wanted to be in a place that was, family-like, just like John Curtis was. So that's kind of why I decided to come back to Thibodaux, and I kind of just fell in love with this place based off of not only the people and the football staff, but just the people in the city. The city's been so great, so it just kind of plays a testament to what this place really is.
And your dad played at Iowa State. I remember covering him back in the day. And your dad went to John Curtis High School, and I remember you were a heck of a quarterback in high school. You were 200 pounds. You don't see a lot of 200-pound quarterbacks, but I remember watching you play, and I would always say, when you're recruiting, you see a quarterback that's 200. Some of them are not, tough to tackle. But watching you were like trying to tackle a linebacker. You were not a guy that was easy to bring down. And then when I saw that you moved to running back at Nicholls, I was fired up. And you told me you got up to as much as 235 pounds, right? At one time?
Yes, sir. So that whole situation is for me really cool. I have a great relationship with my father. And it's just that I'm fortunate enough that he played at John Curtis as well. So growing up, as a freshman playing quarterback at Curtis, there's times me and my father would sit in and watch 2-3 hours of film because he knew exactly what the playbook was like. He played running back in the offense. So that's something that was really cool that me and my father got to, bond over throughout the years. And just the whole story of me coming here as a quarterback and then transitioning over to a running back, I'm saying similar to my father, right? But he was a running back in college. So just very similar. Had the breakout year my freshman year. My father did the same thing. So it's pretty cool looking back on it now when it's all said and done on how similar our careers were.
And Collin, tell everybody, because as soon as you finished your eligibility here at Nicholls, as soon as you got through, put the cleats up, you became a coach on the staff at 24 years old. Tell everybody how that came about.
So I was fortunate enough while I played here to actually coach at E.D. White, right down the road in Thibodaux. Great fit for me, loved them. They actually approached me the year they went to state and like, hey, can you come talk to the team, what it's like to play in the state championship? And I was all for it, and I realized I ran the triple option. So, hey, if y'all need any help, I'm always around. So they kind of let me hang around. I coached there for the last 3 years. And then I think a lot of that too just comes with the relationships that I built here and just kind of the person I was in the locker room. I'll never forget, I finished playing ball. My last day was November 17th. Was very fortunate enough. Coach Ryback, he got the job. He called me and says, hey, won't you come meet me in my office? I meet in his office, says, hey, I think you'll be a great fit here. I think you can do this. You've proven yourself along the way. And I jumped right on it for a 24-year-old kid who just finished ball. But I also think that's a testament too with the type of person I was able to become simply because of this community and the staff that was here who kind of molded me into the man that I've become. So I think for me, it was a no-brainer. It was a perfect fit for me. And I think it's pretty cool because now I just play with a bunch of these guys, right? So I have connections and relationships with them, but now I get to coach them, right? So I know where to tap certain buttons and also know how to get the best out of them. So it's been a really, really fun experience and a good transition.
And I take it you're the running backs coach.
Yes, sir. Running backs and tight ends.
What does Thibodeau mean to you coming from River Ridge, Louisiana, where you were at John Curtis? I mean, your time here being a colonel and, if the kids are watching and parents are watching this, what would you like to say? What has it meant to you?
It's meant everything to me, honestly. And I'll never forget my last interview here, and I'm trying not to get choked up right now, right? Yeah. But for me, this was my second place, right? Came back home from West Point. Everybody who knows me knew I was a little bit lost. So this place kind of brought me in with open arms, right? They accepted me for who I was as a person, and I was able to accept Thibodeau for who they were as a community. And I tell everybody, everybody vouches that, whatever city they're in, that's, a family-like place. But this truly, really is. And they brought me in with open arms, and I feel like I'm forever indebted to them. So when I got this opportunity to stay in Thibodeau, for me, it was the perfect setting to give back and pour back into this community, because my biggest goal just growing up was I wanted to be able to impact the younger generation any way I can, right? So now I get to just get these guys right before they become young men in society. So for me, it's a great position to be in, and I feel like I owe the city everything.
Collin, you said you're the second all-time leading rusher in the history of Nicholls State. That's pretty big, man.
Yes, sir.
And I want to mention this because we have some LSU fans that watch as well. And I was at the game this past year, your senior year. And I wanted to share this. I didn't even share this with you and Coach, but about 4 hours before the game, people were saying, well, who do we need to look for Nicholls? Who's a sleeper, right? Because LSU game, they're like, a lot of guys, they don't even know who's on the team. But I said, man, there's this Guggenheim running back. I said, he's tough. I said, he might be a problem tonight. And sure enough, all the guys were looking at me in the suite at LSU going, man, you're right. This guy's a problem tonight. And you had a long run. How long was that run on LSU?
I think it was 67 yards.
I mean, straight down the middle. And you had a lot of key first down runs in that game.
Yes, sir. I think, too, just a kid growing up, right, in Louisiana, it's every kid's dream to, quote-unquote, grow up and want to play for LSU, right? So I think just emotions were high that game, but a lot of that goes to the guys up front, right? I'm not who I am if I don't got great old linemen. So just seeing how hard that they played that night for me made me want to play even harder for them, because I know they were, busting their tails to make sure that they opened up holes for me. So just that was great. And then, two, for me, just taking up the whole atmosphere as a whole, right? Growing up, you go to games, you're seeing Collin of Baton Rouge, taking a step back and realizing that it's a surreal moment. And so that's what I was most appreciative of, that the way that we fought that day, the way that our guys came out and played hard, and just soaking up all the memories. Because it's for us, it's really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, right, as a player. And just taking all that in and just being able for that to happen was just icing on the cake, honestly.
Well, I'm just going to tell you now, in Baton Rouge, you're a cult legend as an opponent player. 100,000 people now know who you are from just LSU. And look, Nicholls traveled well that game.
Yeah, I think, but that's a testament to, I know I've preached this, but that's a testament to this community. It really is. Everybody rallies around this place. You notice everybody in the community is always here on Saturdays. They pack the stadium. And they support us, right? Because this is what Thibodeau is.
We got the stadium behind you.
Exactly. Yeah. This is where we go, and so it's been great. But that's just a testament to the people, right? And we wouldn't be us without them. And I think a lot of them in their daily life, is evolved around us. So it's just a great thing that we're trying to do here.
And people are watching your coat. That's Nicholls State, not Nebraska. That's
Correct.
Nicholls
That's
State.
Nicholls State. This is a
Kind of looks
a throwback.
like,
It's a little retro.
A little old school.
Yeah, it's a little retro. So it's super nice.
So any parents watching today, anybody that's getting to know Nicholls a little bit, what advice would you have for a kid? Because look, things didn't go your way the first year. You didn't give up. You came to a second school, worked out here at Nicholls. But, a lot of kids now, they want to play right away. That's the big obstacle. Now you're recruiting a lot of kids, but we can't talk about recruits. But what is your opinion, or what would you like to share with people about just being patient?
Right. I think the biggest thing to that is how hard you work while you're not the guy, right? I think a lot of that shows up for when you do get that opportunity. What kind of person were you when maybe you were fourth or buried on a depth chart? Did you come in every day? Did you work hard, right? Or did you make excuses and complain? So I tell these guys to always keep grinding. But the biggest thing that I tell these kids over everything is to always make sure you're happy doing what you're doing, right? So I never want a guy to feel like they have to come and make this a chore. I want you to love the game. I want you to love what you're doing, because at the end of the day, as a coach, I want to make sure that you become a better man in society, right? So making sure you're happy in the place that you're at, no matter whether it is, whether it's Nicholls State, whether it's anywhere else. As long as you're happy with your day-to-day life, that's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, it will allow you to be a better version of yourself.
Couple more questions. Give you an opportunity to say something for a couple of coaches that aren't. One that coached you, JT Curtis. What would you like to say to your old coach at John Curtis High School?
Just thank you for everything. He was a big part of my life, and I didn't realize it till I was gone. But just the way that he's been able to, tie his faith into not only football but everyday life. There's so many life lessons that I learned in high school that I will forever cherish.
Yeah.
And he's been a big part in kind of me and who I've become today.
Coach Rebo.
Coach Rebo was the first one that trusted in me. Coach Rebo really believed in me. He says, I don't know what we're going to do with you here, but you're a football player, and I know the kind of people I want, and you fit that mold. So just so thankful that he was able to give me the opportunity in the beginning before I went to West Point, and then not give up on me at the end. And I think it turned out into a pretty good deal. So I'm forever grateful for him.
Now, say your new boss's name, the new head coach.
Coach Rybecky.
What do you got to say to Coach?
He's awesome. I obviously wouldn't be where I'm at today without him, right? But I just really enjoy the relationship that we've been able to build over the last 4 years of me playing there, and then that we're continued to build. Because I don't feel like coming to work is a chore for me, right? I really do enjoy coming to this place every day because this is family, right? So I look at him as family. I enjoy that, work is work, but when we're away from work, we get to have a little bit of fun and kind of continue to grow that relationship. So I'm very thankful.
And you live in the dream.
Yes, exactly.
You're even going to show me where to go eat in Thibodeau when we're done.
Oh yeah. That's what I take a lot of pride in, right? So gaining weight here, I had to find some good spots to eat. So I take a lot of pride in the food places.
Well, Collin, good luck. You're gonna be one of the youngest running back coaches in the United States at 24 years old.
Sir.
Just finished playing football. You got fans at LSU. You got fans at Nicholls State. You got fans all over Louisiana with John Curtis. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the road too. Recruit some of these running backs.
Yes, sir.
And whatever coach wants you to recruit on offense, right?
That's right.
Will you recruit any O linemen?
Oh yes, so that's the unique part about this is so I actually I get to put my hand in the cookie jar with a little bit of everybody.
There you
right?
go.
So being a young guy, I get to relate to a lot of these guys. So I like to be able to put my footprint on them and be able to guide them because I am younger and I can be more relatable with some of these guys. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Well, Collin, thank you, man. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching the Sports Scouting Report with Lieber King.